Did you know you can add three-dimensional depth and make your photos pop inside of Lightroom using the three brushes? That's right. A lot of people are not aware there's three. I'm going to show you why there's three, how to use them, and which ones to use. Let's get started. So one of the things I love to do is dodge and burn, which is lightening and darkening a photograph selectively. This can really make your subject pop, but it can be difficult going backwards and forwards between brushes. Here's some good tips for you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the mask, and then we're going to create the brush. So I'm going to click, and you'll notice right now it says brush A. And so I can do settings. So like maybe I want to use this as a big soft brush for just kind of spreading light in dark areas. So the first thing I want to do is I want to adjust the size of the brush. Now, if I move the size slider, we can sort of see it's moving the brush, but I'd rather see it on screen. So if I use the left bracket key, makes it smaller, right bracket key makes it bigger. Let me put it here where you can see it better. Notice there's two circles. The concentric circles, the inside is the size of the solid brush, the outside is the feathering. So if I go to the feather here and I adjust this, notice as I do, that feather area reduces. The brush stays the same, but what this does is it fades or blends it. Now, once again, it's difficult to see on screen, but if I want to put it over my image and see how this works, I'm going to do the same as I did before, except this time hold down the Shift key. The Shift and left bracket key will reduce the feather, and the Shift and right bracket key will increase that feather. All right, so flow is how fast does that build up? And if we're doing dodging and burning, you don't want it to go to 100%. If I turn this to 100, it's just going to do maximum impact all the time. If I turn that flow down, it's going to build it up over time, which enables me to shade like you would with a pencil. And this enables smoother blending. Auto mask is going to detect the edges of objects. If I have it on, it will keep me within areas, but it will be difficult to get smooth coverage because when it sees a change of tone or color underneath the little crosshair there, it's either going to apply or not apply the mask, which can give you a very blotchy kind of a look and not smooth. And intensity is the maximum amount that you want to apply. I'm going to turn auto mask off on this brush. And now that I've set this brush, maybe I'm going to do some dodging or darkening. Don't worry, I'm going to get to the three brushes in just a moment and why. But the first thing I want to do is I want to start to just blend this around the edges. But maybe I don't want to go to this top part because it's lighter up there. Maybe I'm going to go down here and I'm just kind of painting over those areas. And what you're seeing right now is a mask. Now what I can do is I can adjust that mask. You can change the color of it. You can hide it with the overlay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the exposure and I'm going to bring it down. Notice as I am, those areas become darker. Now remember, I had the flow turned down so I could go further with this. So just be aware if I want to darken it further, notice as I go, I'm adding more darkening. So you might want to bring that exposure back a little bit and just kind of compensate for that. So now that we've set that, wherever I want to darken with this nice big soft brush, I can just gently go over. I'm actually using a Wacom tablet right now, which enables me to have a nice feel like a pen. Now, unfortunately, Lightroom does not support pen pressure. So you can't push darker to get more of an effect. Well, once again, working like a pencil, what you have to do is drop that flow, build it up, which is why it's important. Now, once I get this set and I want to do other adjustments, like maybe I want to go and do some stuff in here, but I don't want that feather quite the same. Maybe I want a little bit sharper, and maybe I want to have that flow up a little bit higher. The problem is if I change this, and then I go to come back again, I've got to remember where I set it, and I can be going backwards and forwards. That's what the B is for. If I choose B, now I'm choosing a different brush. And maybe I'm going to make this a really precise brush. So I'm going to take this brush, I'm going to keep the size small, I'm going to turn auto mask on so it selects those edges, and we're going to keep the feather maybe just not completely all the way down, but a little bit. All right, so let's take this down. We're going to drop that flow down a little bit. I'm going to take that density down. So the maximum I can go to is 50%. And maybe we're going to get there pretty quickly. And let's take the size down even smaller. So now if I paint under this bridge, notice I can darken that area now. And it stays within those lines. And it kind of matches what's up there now. So now we have this second brush. If we want to go back to the soft, we can go to this brush. And once again, we can continue. I can change the size of this because I know I'm working with that type of density and that amount of flow. So I could go in here and start to build up some of these shadow areas and start to get a little bit more depth now. Notice how we're starting to chisel this in, getting a little depth in those rocks. Maybe even underneath there. And what I'm doing is I'm not changing that setting. I'm just changing the size only because, the size doesn't matter. It's very easy to choose a size, but what's difficult is to match that density and flow later. So I can go in here and I'm just going to just speed this up. Okay, so I just did a little bit of work there. And as you can see, here we are before and after. It's adding a little depth to the image. But what if I want to add some pop with the highlights? So I'm going to create a new mask and I'm going to choose the brush once again for the highlight area. So I'm just going to increase the size of this. Notice the feather and flow, you'll see in a moment, is still the same. And I'm just going to gently paint here. And what we see once again, we just get that mask. But this time let's do our exposure and we can brighten up that area. Well, let's have a look between the two masks. As we look at mask 1 and mask 2, look, it doesn't matter which mask I choose, the brush is still the same. If we go to B brush, doesn't matter which mask I'm on. See that? So what I like to do sometimes is I like to go to brush A, and this is where, I'm going to be adding a little more. Let's go for some areas that might be receiving a little bit more light. And I'll just speed this up. And maybe I want to do a sharper work here on maybe this tree for the highlights. So I'm going to choose brush 2. Remember, it's got the auto mask, the size is small, the feather is lower, and I can punch this a little bit more using this brush. See that? So I'm just kind of picking up some of these highlight areas. And sometimes what I can do with this second brush, and we'll talk about the third one in a moment. So with the second brush, this could be maybe the one we're doing for the sharp areas like we are right now. So we're doing one brush for soft and the other one for sharp, and we don't have to go backwards and forwards between the settings because it's going to remember those. Or what you could do is you could set one brush as your main brush and then set the second one as the one, okay, I'll experiment and I'll change this and, try some different things, but you're always going to keep your main brush unchanged, and it just makes it so much easier to work without having to go backwards and forwards and changing that. And see what I'm doing here is I'm actually adding some light here. So we've been painting with shadow and light. And let me show you the before and after so you can see what's happening. So if we look at this before, see how flat the image is? After, now I'm starting to add a lot of depth. If you want to know more about this, by the way, I'm actually teaching a session next week at the Lightroom Virtual Summit, which is free online. And you can watch me do dodging and burning. It's a 1-hour session. I'll add a link underneath if you want to check that out. Also, I have a dodging and burning course at photoshopcafe.com where you can kind of see where I do this. All right, so there's the two. So the third brush is the eraser. Like say we go to brush A, and I'm going to go to adding some bright areas here. So let's go there. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And hopefully I don't mess up this composition, because right now I just want to show you how this brush works. I might mess up the composition, but you get the idea. You saw what it looked like, right? Before, after. All right, so that's just to kind of demonstrate now. So say I was painting with a bright area, and I got all this in here, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's kind of bright, but I'd want to bring some of that back. Sometimes the way to do that is to brighten up that area, go overboard, and then we can use erase, which is a third brush, which you can't change the density, but you can change everything else on it. I can have auto mask. I can bring that feather down. I can adjust that flow. I'm going to keep the flow quite high for this one, though, and I'm going to turn auto mask on. And maybe I'm just going to paint in here and just kind of paint away where I went over. And then that'll take those other adjustments that I made right up to the edge. And that's kind of like another way that you can work. And also, of course, you can remove brush strokes that you created that you may not like. So here's the other thing that's interesting about this is if I am in the A brush and I hold down the Alt or the Option key, that chooses erase. See that? As I'm holding Alt Option, you can see erase is there, and you can see it's going from plus to minus. So I can access those other brush settings very quickly while I'm in there and just release and go back to the regular brush. Now, I could be on the B brush and I could choose the erase and let go. Notice it goes back to B each time. So this toggles backwards and forwards to whichever brush you want. Here's another little tip. If I move the bracket keys, notice I'm changing the settings on my brush. You can see that in the panel. If I hold down the Alt or the Option key, and now I do this, notice I'm changing the settings in the erase. Release, and now we're back to the regular brush. And if you go back to the erase, you can see the settings I changed remain intact. So those are your three brushes. And there's a lot of ways you can work together with these to just do some incredible detailed work here inside of Lightroom. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Drop a comment and let me know if you learned anything new. Oh, by the way, if you want to know the new features that are in Lightroom, check out my video right here. And if you're new or you've been coming for a while and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, you'll do me a huge favor if you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You'll also do yourself a favor because you won't miss any of my tutorials. All right, until next time, I'll see you at the cafe.